way.
You certainly got away with the dames, Phelps.
Give it a rest, 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐞.
Let's see what the patrons have to say.
I'll take the bartender. You work the rest of the room. I'm Detective Phelps of the LAPD.
How can I help, Detective?
Name would be a good start.
Dudley Lynch. Hired help. I run the place when the owner ain't around.
Where is the owner?
He stepped out. Somebody had to take Lorna, Mrs. Patterson, home.
What can you tell me about the accident?
Not a lot. It was busy in here, and all I heard was the impact.
So what was he doing outside? It's against licensing regulations to drink on the sidewalk.
Lester and Lorna were having a fight. The owner made him take it outside. It was pretty ugly.
Do you know the victim?
Yeah. Lester Patterson. He's a regular here, or he was.
So Patterson just walked in front of the car, and you saw nothing. Why are you lying, Lynch?
Any of the patrons will confirm I was here behind the bar when it happened. Can you prove any different? You better change your tune if you want anything more from me.
A witness overheard an argument.
Lester and Lorna. There's nothing like airing your dirty laundry in public, is there?
What was it about?
Who knows? The slightest thing could set those two off.
Stalling just makes us more inquisitive, Lynch. We'll get to the bottom of this, with or without you. That guy has a serious attitude problem. You get anything out of the regulars?
They weren't giving too much away. They liked watching Lester and Lorna go a few rounds every other day. And Lester was a fan of the love tap.
I got friends work for the examiner. $5 for the exclusive.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need to run a partial license plate, 3 Charles 8. Cross-check possible Lincoln owners. Suspect vehicle is a red Lincoln Continental.
Just a moment, Detective. Only one possible make on that license. Registered to a William Shelton, 738 West Temple Street.
Thank you.
Looks like we caught a break on this one.
Where were all these policemen when the crime was being committed, I wonder?
Can you drive to this one?
And where exactly are we going?
Yes? Hello?
Mrs. Patterson.
Is this about my husband?
We're investigating the incident, ma'am.
I see. Come in, won't you?
We wanted to give you the facts about the accident, ma'am.
I appreciate that, but I think I know most of them already, Detective. He was hit by a car, now he's dead. What more is there to tell?
Pardon me, but you don't appear to be too upset about it.
Lester and I met on a furlough in '44. We got married that weekend. People don't understand it now, but that happened a lot back then.
I see. So you probably did well to stick together this long.
What's that supposed to mean, mister? I think it's about time you left. I have someone here, and
Beg your pardon? You're gonna have to run that one by us again, sister.
It's okay, Lorna. I'm Leroy Sabo.
Well, well. Nice to see you're comforting the grieving widow, Mr. Sabo.
All right, wise guy. Do you have any intelligent questions you would like me to answer?
You can confirm Mrs. Patterson's story.
Lester lost at cards. He was kind of hard to control when he lost his temper. He turned without looking and walked right out in front of the car. It wasn't good.
What's your relationship with Mrs. Patterson, Mr. Sabo?
We're friends. Good friends.
You expect me to believe that?
Look, I was filing for divorce. Mental cruelty. Lester could be a mean son of a bitch.
And Lester knew about that?
No, I hadn't told him.
Well, hasn't this worked out well for the two of you? I feel almost bad for busting in on this little rendezvous.
You were arguing in the bar and on the sidewalk?
We were always arguing. So what?
Admit it, you were baiting him, pushing his buttons. We can easily get the full story from the regulars in the bar.
All right. Lester was playing cards out back. He lost, of course, and wanted back in. He suggested I earn the money on my back to get a mistake. That was the proposition he was putting to his so-called buddies. So maybe I was a little angrier than usual. Let's just say I took exception to his idea.
How did the car come to hit Lester?
He walked straight into the path of an oncoming car.
You're lying, Lorna. You pushed him in front of the car.
If you think you can prove that, I suggest you arrest me now. I would have loved to push him under a car many a time, but not this time.
We're leaving, Lorna, but this doesn't add up. We'll be keeping an eye on you. Come on, Phelps. Let's make ourselves scarce.
I'm out of here, Lorna. I got a business.
You think Mal is done with the autopsy? Better call it in and check, Phelps. Between the driver and the widow, I say we start dealing with the facts. It's a lucky break getting a partial ID. These cases are usually dead in the water after 24 hours if no one comes forward.
Why don't they just stop?
You heard about fight or flight during the war?
Sure. Never back your enemy into a corner. That kind of stuff?
Right. Well, in a hit and run, the perp is already in flight. It's easier to keep going. Takes a degree of moral courage to stop and accept responsibility.
You're not as dumb as you make yourself out to be.
That's the son of a bitch right there.
William Shelton?
Yes?
It doesn't look good, Shelton. You packing your bags and making a run for it? You know why we're here.
Yes. The accident.
We've got witnesses who can put this car at the scene, not to mention the physical damage. This is open and shut, Shelton.
That coward thinks he can run from everything.
Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
No wonder he killed someone driving like this. Don't let that asshole get away.
Land those wheel arches. Come on.
Heading into the station. Go on, get after him.
That's no way to drive. I'm out of here. There he is, officer.
Hold it right there, Sheldon.
Guy from the paper.
It was a vehicular manslaughter rap sound, Shelton.
I hit him. I admit it. I just panicked, but it wasn't my fault.
What do you mean?
The guy jumped right out in front of me. He came out of nowhere. There's nothing I could do about it.
Why didn't you stop?
I've had accidents before.
That's it. We're done here. The DA is gonna love you.
They weren't all my fault. I'm a surveyor. I need my license for my job. There were people around. A woman and a man were standing right next to him. I thought they could get him to a hospital. I'm telling you, it's not my fault.
The guy is dead, Shelton.
You can't be serious.
William Shelton, you're coming downtown. We need to talk about a manslaughter charge. You know the way. You can drive.
Do we know where we're going?
You need to take this up with Leroy.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Are there any messages for me?
Just one detective from the coroner. Message reads, Phelps, see me at Central Morgue immediately. Results of the Patterson autopsy.
Thanks for your help.
That's that cop. Seems like
You
a
drive.
guy.
I need to go over the case notes.
Where are we